The Nebraska Wesleyan University Sports Network presents Great Plains Athletic Conference College Football. Today, it's the Hastings College Broncos and the Nebraska Wesleyan University Prairie Wolves. This game is made possible by Lincoln Electric System. Use LAS to save more. By Union Bank. You belong here. And Nebraska Wesleyan University. Now, let's send you out to Able Stadium with Jeff Moats and Lucas Mormon.
A century-long meeting between two schools comes ahead here today at Able Stadium as the Nebraska Wesleyan Prairie Wolves take on the Hastings College Broncos. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Moats along with Lucas Mormon here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. This matchup today, pair of opposites here because Nebraska Wesleyan's offense is pretty high octane going up against a defense in Hastings College that's toward the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, and after last week's performance, Nebraska Wesleyan over 500 yards of offense. Tyler Francis with a career day, 28 completions, tied the mark for completions in a game. Needs just one completion to own the single season Nebraska Wesleyan completion mark. They also run the ball well. Joey Jones found the end zone 2 times last week. He'll probably handle a lot of the rushing duty. Dustin Bryant still a little banged up. And that defense for Hastings, as you said, towards the bottom of the GPAC, so look for a lot of good things from Nebraska Wesleyan on the offensive side of the ball.
Nebraska Wesleyan's defense, they're 4th overall. They're pretty tough to beat. Of course, Phil Latimer leads the charge there. They go up against a Hastings College offense that's got a pretty decent quarterback.
Yeah, Matt Overmiller does a little bit of everything. He's thrown for almost 1,200 yards, a good rusher as well, and they have a back in Nate Arlt who does everything as well. He's their leading rusher. He leads them in pass receptions, so a two-headed monster there, Overmiller and Arlt in the backfield for the Broncos.
We mentioned 100 today, the 100th meeting between Nebraska Wesleyan and Hastings College. Another thing to keep in mind as far as number 100 goes is the career win for head coach Brian Keller. He's going for win number 100 here at Nebraska Wesleyan today on Senior Day, where 19 seniors will be recognized. Stick around for the kickoff. It's the 100th meeting between Nebraska Wesleyan and Hastings. The Prairie Wolves and the Broncos are coming up after this on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Save money, saving energy. Did you know that for every degree you set your thermostat below 68 in the wintertime, you can save 3 to 5% on your heating costs? 3 to 5%. As some people might say, that's hot. Check us out at LAS.com or do a search for LAS Video Vault on YouTube for even more energy-saving tips like this one. See you next time.
Able Stadium here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. Welcome back. Jeff Moats and Lucas Mormon with you today as we get ready for the 100th meeting between Nebraska Wesleyan and Hastings. And the advantage here in this series goes to Hastings by about 4 games.
Yeah, 48, 44, and 7 ties all time. And this is the longest running rival for Nebraska Wesleyan. The 100th meeting this year, next year, just one year longer than that Doane matchup we had earlier this season. Nebraska Wesleyan won the toss. They deferred, so they will kick off.
So here is Lorraine's end-over-end kick, and it will go right into the end zone overhead for a touchback as Gage Baker, rather Devontae Knight watches it go overhead and into the end zone, and so Hastings will have the football starting from their own 25-yard line.
Hastings, a team that has struggled throughout the year, just their first GPAC win last week over Dordt, but the last 2 or 3 weeks, as we mentioned earlier, they've started to click a little bit. They played a close, tight game with Northwestern, only losing by 3.
So there you see Matt Overmiller. He's the quarterback, and here on 1st and 10. Quick pass on the route far side, complete around the 39-yard line. And it's Austin Curley with the reception. We'll talk about Austin Curley as we look at the offense. Overmiller, Kofal, and then you see Curley, the wide receiver who just made the catch. Schumacher among them. Kanan over there too. Paxton, Arnold, Watchorn, Mogilewski among the others on that line, and Stephen Dunham too. So from the 40. Pass the flat again to Curley, out to the 50 and ran out of bounds by Eric Richards on the play. So 2 quick passes off the bat for Hastings. There you see the defense, Hand, Kundal, Latimer, Tukolsky, and then some more seniors, Fecht, Reeves, Hovendick, and then Gunther, Hittner, Wardine, and Richards. out there in that defensive backfield.
They'll work out of the shotgun and the pistol very often, much like last week.
And here's a handoff to Nate Arlt, who takes it from the 49 of Wesleyan down to the 46, gets about a 3-yard pickup on the play.
Arlt will do a little bit of everything for him. He leads them in rushing yards, although all of their running backs, no one rushes for a ton of yards out of this attack. Overmiller is almost as dangerous there. He does lead them in receptions as well. Arlt back there with the long locks.
Arlt with another handoff here on 2nd down and gets about 1.5 yards to the 45 of Nebraska Wesleyan. And there you see Phil Latimer. Key part of that Nebraska Wesleyan defense that we've been talking about.
Oh, that's just a solid group up front for Nebraska Wesleyan. You look across the front to Kolste, Kundal, Latimer. I mean, all those guys at one point or the other have garnered double teams, allowing the other ones to go to work. Last week it was to Kolste. This previously week it was Latimer. And you kind of pick your poison if you're an opponent there. One of those guys is probably going to wreak some havoc on you. Big 3rd down.
Huge play and a stop in the backfield. Guess who? It's Phil Latimer, and also getting some assistance that time from Taylor to Kolste. Take a look at this again.
It looked like a straight drop back. I don't think that was going to be a draw play. They do run over Miller sometimes, but good pressure by those two guys to bring him down.
So 4th down here for Hastings. They'll go into punt formation. And Brandon Bockel is back to punt. Bobbled snap. Here's the punt. It's blocked as it goes straight up in the air. And it's going to take a bounce. And it will be picked up by Nebraska Wesleyan on the far side of the field. And that was Ben Fedoris who got it. And Ben Fedoris recovers it. And so the Prairie Wolves will have it at the Hastings 37-yard line.
Well, and that's one thing, Hastings in the turnover department, -19 on the year. This time they have the punt blocked and then recovered. And great field position for Francis and company here. And it all started with that snap that time, Jeff. It just wasn't able to handle that snap. Took a little too long, and the pressure came.
Now we'll see a spread offense here. 3 receivers and 2 receivers.
Watch for Zump, see if they try and go deep after that first play after the turnover.
Earhart in motion for Tyler Francis, who looks to throw. And Bryant catches it at the 30 and takes it inside to the 25-yard line and gets the first down.
And good to see Bryant out there. He was banged up last week. We weren't sure how much we'd see him coming in, if he would run the football a lot or not. As you take a look at that starting backfield, Francis, Lovell, and Jones was slated to get the start. Bryant was out there. Larson, Zump, the newfound Gory, and Ryan Beebe, 40 consecutive starts on that offensive line, whether it's center or guard.
I believe he is a 3rd-generation BB to go to school here and even play here at Nebraska Wesleyan, as Bryant gets the carry on 1st and 10 and takes it about 6 yards to the 19-yard line where he is stopped. And his dad, Craig Beebe, put together, and we'll finish that thought in a moment. There's the defense for Hastings. Clays, Warren, Colquitt, Wiley, Johnson, Graffel, and McBride among those. And then the corners and the safeties, Gilden, Griffith, Lowe, and Hill.
Gilden was one of those guys they really like back there in their secondary. So you see 2 plays ago, 5 wide. Now a big stacked look as a huge offensive line out there, just Bryant in the backfield.
Bryant. Nope, Joey Jones near side, 10. Ran out of bounds around the 5-yard line. Ran out that time by Lowe. Can he say Lowe? The sophomore putting the stop on Joey Jones as he cut out around left end.
Pretty good job sealing the outside there, letting Jones bounce it outside, get to the sideline. He had a similar run last week, went for a touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns last week. Now the leads Wesleyan in touchdowns on the ground this season.
Spread offense here for Wesleyan. 1st and goal from the 5. Now Danik going in motion for the Prairie Wolves. Francis, quick strike into the end zone, touchdown, and it's caught by Joey Jones on a 5-yard toss into the end zone.
Touchdown, Prairie Wolves.
Joey Jones just Mr. End Zone the last 2 weeks. This time he does it on the receiving side of things. It's right in front of the coverage. Already 2 completions here in this one. And that would give Francis the all-time completions mark for a season here at Nebraska Wesleyan. So congratulations to him.
Here's the extra point, and it's blocked. And Wesleyan had it. And now it's picked up by Lovell. Lovell's going to try to run with it, and he is stopped back at about the 18-yard line. So the point after is blocked, but Nebraska Wesleyan gets on the scoreboard first, 6-0 over Hastings on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Kevin! Kevin got out, Henry. We got to find him. Kevin, where are you? Kevin! Kevin, where are you?
Animal control called. They found Kevin. It's a good thing we had him licensed, or we might not have gotten him home.
Thank goodness they found him. Kevin!
Nebraska Wesleyan with a 6-0 start here on Hastings at Able Stadium. Jeff Moats, Lucas Moorman, and our entire Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network crew with you today on the final day of the season. And it's hard to believe that we've hit the end of the line for 2013, and it was a pretty good year, so to speak.
Yeah, solid. Looking for another 6-4 record with a win today, and could go to 6-3 in conference play, and that'll put him in the top 5 in the conference. So it's kind of been a battle for number 2, 1 and 2 going to Morningside and Northwestern.
And on the return from the goal line, a cut out to the far side of the field, and the return that time from Sean Robnett. And so, quick return out to about the 23-yard line.
Clint Baldwin brought him down for the Prairie Wolves, and Robnett, solid return man on the year for Hastings.
So the Broncos go to a no huddle here. And Overmiller out of the gun. Long count here for Overmiller. And here is the handoff. And the ball carrier that time looked like it was Fowler. Got the carry. He's a freshman from Hastings.
Kind of had to reverse his field there. Play was designed to go to the right side. He had to bring it back over the left, picked up 2. Hittner was there up from his DB spot to make the tackle. In his second start of the season last year, or last week I should say, led the team in tackles again.
So 2nd and 8. It's Fowler breaking through around the right end area, takes it to the 35 and a first down.
Yeah, a pretty good hole to run through that time over the right side. Lots of running room.
So 1st and 10 coming up here for Hastings. Some odds and ends about this matchup today. The Broncos hold a 3-2 advantage when Wesleyan has played Hastings in the final game of the season during the Coach Keller era. Last year, it's the first time Nebraska Wesleyan won their final game since 2008. Here's a pass downfield, knocked away by Hittner, goes incomplete. And Robnett, the intended target that time for Overmiller.
And he's lucky to get this away. Look at the rush. It comes from the outside to Colstay into triple coverage, but he's just lucky he got that one away, avoided the sack.
So 2nd down here, still at the 35. Overmiller. Send Fowler in motion. Penalty flags come out. This is going to be a false start.
False start on the offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Stephen Dunham moved on that line as Fowler was sent in motion.
First penalty of the afternoon. Last week we saw our fair amount of penalties. See if a little more clean football this afternoon. Another great day though, Jeff, out here as late in the season, sometimes weather comes into play, but the Prairie Wolves have had great weather for their home contests.
Robbed in around the left side. And Richards finally puts a hit on him. Huvendick over there on the far side to force him out of bounds.
Well, and Hastings will use those jet sweep type plays with their wide receivers and their running backs. If you look at the rushing stats for Hastings, nothing really jumps out at you. They have about 4 guys who all average about 25 to 30 yards and a couple that average between 15 and 20. So it's kind of running back by committee.
Out of the pistol, play action toss downfield and is complete. Reception made by Austin Curley and Taylor Gunther with the tackle for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Well, and he just gets in front of the coverage. Good time this time for Overmiller on a post route. Clean pocket the whole time. Good release. Nice throw. Put it up high. Got his receiver in stride. And Curley with 3 catches. More flags in the play here as he came into the game with 29 catches.
Full start on the offense. Number 23, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And that time it was Kofal.
So the ball goes back behind the 35 to the 36.
Curley so far this afternoon, 3 catches.
So they have big catches too, because that first drive they got upfield before the drive stalled. Another play action move here over Miller. Pass goes incomplete. Seth Wardeen with the coverage. The intended target was the tight end Jordan Wallman out of Philly.
Good coverage by Wardeen that time. Timed it just right, didn't draw the flag.
Get no huddle here for Hastings. As Fowler goes in motion. Overmiller looking to toss it, swing pass, thrown behind the intended target that time, Caleb Kofal. So it'll be 3rd down here for Hastings, 3rd and long.
They've made just 5 field goals on the season. 5 out of 7. So efficient, but they just haven't attempted a whole lot.
Don't try to utilize that very much. So 3rd and long.
They're kind of in that no man's land right here unless they pick up about 7 or 8 yards.
Overmiller being pursued,
He's
found
dangerous.
an opening. Shifts back in. And Gunther stops him. He may have picked up a first down. It will be close, but let's see where they mark the ball.
It's going to depend on the spot. And like I said, he's dangerous. He can run for some yards. Ran right through a tackle there, made 1 man miss. Took 3 Prairie Wolves to bring him down. They'll say he's a yard shy.
Yeah.
So
that was a good pickup.
they'll go for it here, it looks like.
Yep. Unless they bring in the field goal unit, which is what they will do.
Overmiller in the season, he's run for over 100 yards. A lot of that's negated by sacks, but he's ran for 214, but he's lost 100 on sacks. Here's the field goal attempt.
39-yard attempt blocked, and it's picked up by Wardeen on the return down the near side. And Wardeen is still moving. Look at him go down the near side, heading home. Touchdown, Nebraska Wesleyan.
And it almost looked like everyone thought he was down or had stepped out of bounds, and he slowed down, hesitated, and emerged from the mess right there and takes it home. Take a look.
Watch this again.
Now, it looks like he has a wall right here to cut up inside, and then there, they just don't wrap up. He slows down but doesn't go down, and instead he goes in for 6.
Seth Wardeen, the former Crusader from Grand Island Central Catholic, with a big return.
So special teams here early have been the name of the game.
And the extra point is good from Aaron Lorraine. And with 7:18 to go here in this first quarter of action, Nebraska Wesleyan leads Hastings 13-0 on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy. Did you know that for every degree you set your thermostat below 68 in the wintertime, you can save 3 to 5% on your heating costs? 3 to 5%. As some people might say, that's hot. Check us out at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube for even more energy-saving tips like this one. See you next time.
Take a look at this again. Here's the blocked field goal attempt, and it was Brandon Reeves who blocked the kick, and Seth Wardeen picks it up. And take a look at this run. Just when you think he would be stopped right there, kept his feet, and Hastings unable to corral him and set sail downfield for the touchdown. And here on the ensuing kickoff, quick return on the far side. It goes out of bounds. Devontae Knight on the return up to about the 18-yard line, where Hastings will begin their third drive of the game. So the Broncos on their first drive go 3 and out. They tried going for a 39-yard field goal, which is blocked by Reeves and returned for a touchdown by Seth Wardeen.
Well, and really, Jeff, the offense hasn't been doing all that bad. They've picked up a couple first downs, drove the length of the field. It's the special teams, a blocked punt and then a blocked field goal, that have been the thorn in the side of the Hastings Broncos here early on.
So here is Overmiller to Colsey, almost had him flag thrown, and a pass attempt that goes out of bounds here toward the near side. But a flag in the field.
Maybe Tukolste got a little face mask is what they're going to say. Unless there was a hold back there somewhere.
There might have been a hold or a block in the back.
But, his head, it was hard to tell in real time if he got a piece of that face mask or not.
Holding on the offense, number 52. Half the distance to the goal, replay first down.
Well, that's, if you're a Wesleyan fan, that's what you wanted to see as a result of that flag, because his head did move a little, but I thought it was rather incidental. So the holding call benefits the Prairie Wolves.
So Landon Arnold called for holding for Hastings.
3 flags already on the Broncos.
And now they got to work deep. Here it is, handoff. Arlt gets the carry, and Seth Wardeen and a few others there to make the stop at the 12-yard line. Hovendick over there too for Wesleyan. Again, Hastings looking like they got a little bit of balance. They've been throwing the ball well. It's just they have not been able to finish or sustain a drive.
Well, yeah, 170 yards a game from Overmiller when he's been out there as a starter. A double move there.
Pass goes incomplete toward the near side of the field.
Tried to get out to Kofel out of the backfield and enlist him as a fullback, as there's the sneak out, pressure coming again. But they use all their backs as receivers. You just look down this stat sheet of people who had carried the ball or caught a pass, and it's about 12 to 15 guys on each of those categories.
3rd and long here for Overmiller. Looks to throw, and it goes incomplete. Looking for that time.
A little wobbly, not sure if it got tipped at the line that time.
Trevor Bond was the intended target that time. So 4th down.
Nope, didn't get a hand on it, just sailed on him. As the wind is gusting at times out there today.
Well, the kicking game, if you're trying to kick toward the south end zone, the kicking game not going to work in your favor.
Well, the last time, the snap was low and the punt was blocked. Another low snap.
Here's the punt.
And that's going to be terrible net yardage on the punt. Shanked it off the side of his foot.
So out of bounds it goes, and they'll put the ball at the 24-yard line. How about that for field positioning?
That was about an 11-yard punt.
Pretty much. Well, as the offense comes out, we talked about Ryan Beebe earlier with his 40th consecutive start. His dad, Craig, former Prairie Wolf football player back in the early to mid-'80s, put together a deal outside in Boswick Park today where he brought in his smoker and smoked ribs.
And they always have a great spread over there.
Absolutely. Earhart with the catch and into the end zone for the touchdown. Brooks Earhart with the reception from Tyler Francis, and the point after coming up.
The Prairie Wolves are making the most of the opportunities this afternoon. The short field twice, but just not so fast, my friends. We do have a flag right at the goal line. Great ball from Francis there on the replay. See what the
if it's against Hastings, you would think that
here.
Wesleyan would decline it.
Andrew Fulton will let us know.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on number 37 of the offense, spiking the ball. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Touchdown stands.
Very concise explanation. Take a look here. Little play action. Earhart was all alone in front of the coverage. The safety was slow getting over. And there's the penalty.
There's the penalty.
And we've seen that both weeks. They've been consistent about that this season. We've seen it back-to-back weeks, unsportsmanlike on a spiked football.
I believe Brandon Reeves did it against Midland last week.
And we said we'd forgive him because he doesn't get into the end zone very often.
He rarely gets an opportunity. Yeah. And now Lorraine with the extra point attempt. Here it is. And it is good. So 6:07 to go here in the first quarter. Already a 20-0 start for Nebraska Wesleyan on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
I had antiques, and my cousins raced stock cars, and I kind of merged the two together to antique cars. Giving old stuff new life. I mean, that's the cool part.
I don't know what it is, digging in an old barn. I really like that. And then the finished product.
We just had accumulated enough projects that we really needed to expand. Union Bank helped us achieve the goal of having our own shop.
They made it easy.
There you see Old Glory. Southeast corner of Able Stadium, 20-0 Nebraska Wesleyan leading Hastings here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. Jeff Moats, Lucas Mormon, our entire crew with you for one last time for 2013 in terms of this football season. And so far, a 20-0 start, and Hastings already finding themselves in the cellar.
Yeah, great start so far. You know, right opposite that flag is that Bostwick Park we keep trying to talk about, and Craig Beebe and his great ribs that he had for us this afternoon. And the alumni, the boosters over there do a great job every week. That Bostwick Park, such a great addition as you see everyone. And that one's off the hands.
Yep, and it's a loose football. That thing's going to roll back deep at about the 3. And quickly, Wesleyan there to make the stop at the 25-yard line.
You know what? Sometimes those broken plays on a kickoff end up going for big yardage, so good job that time to just corral them after a decent return as it rolled all the way down to the 3-yard line. Lorraine was in to help make the tackle.
You talk about Craig Beebe again. There you see the replay. This Knight was the guy that picked up the ball and ran it back. But Craig Beebe and some of the other parents and other alumni this season at Bostwick Park went all out with their tailgate, and it was terrific. Each and every time we were invited, as Phil Latimer comes in and tackles Jake Fowler on that play. So Phil Latimer with another stop right at the 25 for no gain on the play. But the Bostwick Park concept, of course, in honor of Scott Bostwick, when they put that thing together and that thing was finished up right before the start of the season, it's now a gym and it's now a social spot for everyone to go to, not just for Wesleyan fans and alumni, but even the Hastings crowd today as a pass goes incomplete. Looking for Curley that time was Overmiller, but we got a flag on the play. You know, today we were in line getting food, and, you know, Hastings fans were coming over there. They were inviting Hastings parents and fans alike.
Holding on the offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty, replay second down.
Man, when it rains, it pours for the Broncos here.
Yeah.
They've had a pretty solid couple of weeks. They played Northwestern tight. Then they got Dort on their schedule, which was a great place to bounce back, get things going here towards the end of the season. And it has just come off the rails here early for the Broncos. 4 penalties, 2 holds, 2 false starts, a blocked field goal, and a blocked punt.
Overmiller, he's going to run with it. And it's Spencer Fecht who comes in to make the tackle. at the 26, and essentially from the line of scrimmage about a 1-yard pickup. But again, to finish the thought, Craig Beebe and the parents over there today and all this season doing a terrific job of putting on that tailgate over at Bostwick Park, so we appreciate that. So 3rd and 9 here. This is from the 26.
Yeah, nice pickup that time by Overmiller, but because of the penalty, still back at just the original line of scrimmage, and now Coach Harper wants to take a timeout. Didn't see exactly what he wanted to in that situation and talk it over.
4:41 to go, first quarter. Back after this on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
The Lincoln Water System knows you are busy, and we appreciate your help as we replace your indoor water meters. First, look for a door hanger with your appointment time. Make sure an adult will be present. Allow easy access to the meter, and make sure the technician is wearing a Lincoln Water System uniform and carrying ID. The free replacement takes only about 20 minutes. For more information, call 402-441-1500 or visit water.lincoln.ne.gov.
There you see the Wesleyan faithful in attendance today for the last game of the season. Good turnout of people here on a very gorgeous Saturday, November day in Lincoln. In fact, temperatures supposed to be in the mid-60s, maybe upper 60s.
Can't ask for much better than that.
But the difference is that south wind, which will make it feel cooler. Overmiller deep in the pocket. Throws a pass that goes incomplete. It was intended for Curley. Wardine was all over him. Richards almost had a pick.
Phil Latimer's talking with the white hat down there, saying, hey, they were bear hugging me that play. I couldn't get to the quarterback. Either way, the pass wobbled and incomplete. Another punt, which might be better than a sack for Nebraska Wesleyan right now, as they've been able to block a field goal and a punt so far this afternoon.
Here's Bockel with the punt.
Well, he got a good snap that time, and that helps.
It bounces out of bounds around the 41-yard line. They'll mark it at the 42. So that's where Wesleyan will have the football.
Still good field position for Nebraska Wesleyan.
Last year's matchup, Wesleyan won on the road 21-14.
Other than that, though, Hastings has kind of had the number of Nebraska Wesleyan here at home, winning 9 of the last 11 matchups.
And they're coming off that win over Dort, 66-21 last week. And when Dort was here in Lincoln, Wesleyan shut them out 28-0. As Earhart goes in motion. The pass is almost intercepted. And good positioning that time from Dylan Hill. The defensive back, he was playing on that route with coverage that time as he was coming in.
And he read that well. Passed the one receiver off, played his zone, and tried to run that little out route. And if he doesn't lose his footing right there at the end, he's off to the races for 6.
Francis was looking for Earhart that time. And so second down here. We'll see Davis has the split here near side. Lovell and Bryant are in that I formation. And Bryant with the carry. As he marches ahead around right side, gets to about the 50-yard line. They'll mark him down and right at the 50.
Well, and he gets good yards there, but you can just tell that there's a little hitch in his giddy-up maybe. As, 2 weeks ago had the ankle. Last week the hip pointer. Didn't play most of the second half. He's out there today on senior day, but he's gutting it out.
And he is a kid that has been battling through injuries ever since he set foot on campus.
It almost seems like if you're a running back for the Prairie Wolves, you're going to battle some injuries. It seems like they just can't find a way to keep someone healthy for the entire season back there. It's been kind of an ongoing theme.
Here's Francis, and Zumpf was his target, and it goes incomplete. Had deep coverage, though.
Pretty good coverage there that time by Gilden. And he's a sophomore for them, and they like what he can do. He had a step, pass just a little bit overthrown for the big play target, Connor Zumpf. Brings up the first 4th down of the afternoon for the Prairie Wolves.
Vandenberg awaiting. Here's the punt. And it's picked up around the 6-yard line. On the return is Ramiro Flores.
Ball come loose.
And did they get it back? Wesleyan says they got it back. And they do.
Special teams again recovering the fumble this time. It looked to me like it was Jordan Miller. Take a look. Here's the return. Gets away from the first man. He fields that all the way down on his own 5. Did Flores. Cuts back, stripped out of there. Just was a little careless handling the football. And another short field for the Nebraska Wesleyan offense. Already up 20-0.
It might have been Jordan Miller. It looks like it was Jordan Miller. So the Prairie Wolves get it back. Here's a toss to Joey Jones. Tries to get it behind a blocker. And Jones inside the 20, around the 16. Well, Francis accomplishes the completion mark this game.
And Francis, really since coming over from Peru, has been a pleasant surprise for Nebraska Wesleyan, as he stepped in 2 years ago to that starting role and has just really excelled. He's so good at moving within that pocket. He's not going to kill you for a 40 or 50-yard run, but he keeps plays alive, has a nice deep ball, throws the ball very well.
Bryant here on 2nd down gets the first down, tackled at the 9-yard line, so it's 1st and goal coming up. If you talk about the NAIA Top 25 poll, Morningside still 5th, Northwestern 13th, Dakota Wesleyan 7-3. And you mentioned Peru State. They're tied for 19th, and the Bobcats, you know, former foe of Nebraska Wesleyan for many years, still hanging tough there in that top 25. They got a good group down there.
Good solid group down there this year, and they're actually not playing in the Oak Bowl, if anyone's familiar with that down there this year. They're doing some remodeling, revamping.
And here is a carry this time. Looks like Bryant, the ball carrier. Nope, Jones the carry that time. But yeah, the famed Oak Bowl down there undergoing some cosmetic work, and they've been splitting time between Auburn High School, Nebraska City High School, and I believe they played at the famed Jug Brown Stadium down in Falls City for one game. So they've been bouncing all over the place. And those high school stadiums down in that part of Nebraska have been very accommodating for Peru State.
Well, Peru State, like I say, depending on what happens this weekend, chance they could get into the playoffs. Maybe they face a GPAC foe in the first round. Nebraska or Northwestern and Morningside looking like they should both get into the playoff picture.
Here is Francis. Near side, it goes incomplete. Boy, good coverage that time, as Larson was the intended target. But coverage that time from Dylan Hill. Take a look at this again. Boy, that was a good breakup that time from Hill.
Larson unable to haul that one in as Hill, we say, good job getting on the hands of Larson, breaking up the pass. Pass was maybe a little behind where Larson would have liked it. Brings up 3rd and goal, or excuse me, 3rd and 1.
So the work out of the eye. Jones gets the carry, cuts back in, and he gets in. Is he short? Yes, he is short. His knee hit just inside the 1-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal
inside the 1. Take a look here, though. Look at this cut right about there. Made the defender miss.
And let's see where his knee goes. Yep, his knee went down right before he got to the goal line.
Good spot by the line judge. And I was going to bring up how Nebraska Wesleyan is a solid 4th quarter team, but they're doing everything right here in the 1st quarter this afternoon.
Francis gives to Bryant, takes it into the end zone for a touchdown. And so Bryant takes it in. And Wesleyan now at 26-0 on Hastings with just under a minute to go.
Good blocking up front.
And there you see Francis again handing it off to Bryant. Gets it across the goal line. Now the point after here from Lorraine.
They did block one PAT so far.
The extra point attempt is up and good. 27-0, Nebraska Wesleyan. 45 seconds to go. First quarter here at Able Stadium on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Hi, this is Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy. Did you know that proper insulation levels can help reduce your heating and cooling costs? You can check your attic insulation level with this very advanced high-tech tool called a ruler. Make sure you have 14 to 16 inches of insulation for maximum energy efficiency. It'll help reduce drafts and allow your heating and cooling systems to not have to work so hard. Think of it as saving money by the inches, $1, $2, $3, you get the idea. For more ways to save, visit les.com today. See you next time.
27-0 Nebraska Wesleyan ahead of Hastings here. Late first quarter at Able Stadium. Jeff Moats, Lucas Mormon, and our entire Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network crew with you from Lincoln's Able Stadium here at Nebraska Wesleyan. And here is the kick. Deep, high end over end kick from Lorraine that goes sailing out of the end zone for a touchback.
Oh, Lorraine's such an important part. Those kickers, sometimes they don't get noticed, kickers and punters, but Nebraska Wesleyan has been spoiled. They have Kelvy Vandenberg doing the punting, and Lorraine has really emerged. Great kickoff guy and field goal guy as well.
I can only recall maybe one season in the years I've been covering Nebraska Wesleyan here on the network where the special teams, like the punting and kicking, wasn't up to par, and that was just, I believe, in 2007 or 8. As carry that time by Hastings is stopped short of the 30 at about the 29. But other than that, the special teams, the kicking and punting units for Nebraska Wesleyan the last several years have been very good. In that one year, they were having a lot difficulty converting on field goals, and the punting game was still pretty good, but the field goal game was somewhat suspect. First down here. Trevor Vaughn makes the reception, and now we're down to 7 seconds here in this first quarter.
Well, the clock will start here after they set the chains, and that'll probably be the last play Hastings will run.
And they'll run it out. So the first quarter's over here at Able Stadium. That's right, first quarter, as you see the score, Nebraska Wesleyan 27, Hastings nothing. Come back for the second quarter after this on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Red antiques and my cousins race stock cars, and I kind of merged the two together to antique cars. Giving old stuff new life. I mean, that's the cool part.
I don't know what it is, digging in an old barn. I really like that. And then the finished product.
We just had accumulated enough projects that we really needed to expand. Union Bank helped us achieve the goal of having our own shop.
They made it easy.
A gorgeous fall scene as you see across 56th Street here in Lincoln. And Nebraska Wesleyan 27-0 over Hastings to begin the second quarter. We kind of expected Wesleyan's offense to make a statement early.
Well, and I thought it'd be maybe as much on the ground as it would be through the air, as Hastings has really struggled against the run this season. But so far, Francis has done well via the air. Joey Jones and Bryant have had some nice runs, but really they haven't had to go that far. They have the short field all afternoon, and nearly an interception there by Reeves, who dropped back into coverage in his linebacker spot.
Keenan, the intended target for Hastings that time, and you mentioned Reeves with a breakup on that pass play. 2nd and 10 here for Hastings, who still trying to shake off all the cobwebs here on their offense. We'll get to some first quarter stats in a moment. They'll go 2 splits to the far side. Play clock down to 5. Low snap, and it's Arlt who gets the carry, gets out of another tackle, runs into another. He may have picked up a first down, and he does. It's close. I mean, he looked like he got the ball across the 46.
Good kick out block right there. allowed him to cut up field. He ran through the tackle of Reeves. And yeah, he'll have a first down, no doubt there. So Hastings offense hasn't really, I mean, it's put together some drives. They've stalled out, but then it's been, once those drives have stalled out, the special teams have just been horrendous.
So 1st and 10, it's Arlt again. And Brandon Reeves comes over and bear hugs him. Short of the 50 at the 49. Gets about a 3-yard pickup on the play.
In that first quarter, Hastings had 114 yards of total offense. Very balanced, 52 through the air, 62 on the ground. But you look at the scoreboard and go 27-0. And, well, you have an 87-yard field goal return for Nebraska Wesleyan. You had the punt blocked.
But you mentioned the 114 total for Hastings. Look at Wesleyan, 90 yards total offense, and they lead at 27-0. That's kind of the staggering statistic.
They've only ran 14 plays.
Well, that's true.
They just had the short field all afternoon.
Here's a pass near side. It goes incomplete. It was Knight, the intended target that time.
And Overmiller on his back again. That time I think it was looked like Kerfman who was in there, a freshman, 6'2", 275 from Omaha, who applied the pressure, getting some time on that defensive front, which really has been the backbone of that Nebraska Wesleyan offense. What a group up front. Latimer was a preseason All-American, and he's lived up to it. But don't forget his buddies up there, Kundal, Takosti, Hand, all those guys. As they're getting pressure with 4 again.
Overmiller completes a pass, and it's enough for a first down at the 41-yard line. Clayton Dean with the reception. And Dean is a Lincoln product. He's a former Northeast Rocket.
Has to go down low to scoop that one in. Pass was underthrown, but it did move the sticks.
2 slots, 2 splits, out of the gun. And it's a sweep play to the right side. Knight inside the 20, and he's bulldogged by Seth Wardeen at the 17-yard line.
Well, Nebraska Wesleyan initially played that very well. They saw the sweep coming. They had the player there to turn him back upfield, but then Knight just turned on the afterburners once he had to make that cut as he was run down from behind. Wardeen.
So from the 17 in Wesleyan territory, Hastings, second time they've been this close to the goal line. Fakes a pass. Up in the air, tipped and incomplete. Eric Richards breaks up the pass to Clayton Dean.
Good coverage by Richards out there. Little double move. You see the pump fake and then to the back corner of the end zone. He throws that a little further. His man might have a chance.
See it again on the replay. Richards again with good coverage. So 2nd and 10 as Arlt goes in motion. In the pocket, Overmiller. He'll run with it. Short toss, wide open. Keenan into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, give that touchdown and wizardry to Overmiller as he looked like he was going to be wrapped up in the backfield, was able to squirt free and found the tight end all alone right at the goal line.
And so 12:31 to go here, the point after coming up.
Well, that just illustrates the fact that we were talking about, Jeff, that the offense has been really performing well for Hastings. It's just been the special teams. As that one is up and good. Nearly had that one blocked again.
Right up above the crossbar. So 12:31 to go here in this first half. It's still Nebraska Wesleyan 27-7 over Hastings on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Thank you for supporting Lincoln Cares. By voluntarily adding $1 each month to your Lincoln Electric System bill, you've helped improve parks programs and facilities across the city. Now your dollar goes even further. Lincoln Cares has been expanded to support not just parks, but also libraries and programs for older adults. And your donations are matched by community partners. See how much more $1 can do. Visit LincolnCares.org.
Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network coverage of GPAC football from Able Stadium today. On a gorgeous November afternoon, there's the score here with 12:31 to play in the first half. 27-7 Prairie Wolves. Hastings just scoring on a touchdown pass from Overmiller to Keenan. And Bockel will kick away. High bounce. He goes into the end zone for a touchback. So just when you thought things were starting to cruise a little bit here for Nebraska Wesleyan, Hastings gets a drive going. They finally put one into the end zone.
Yeah, a couple big plays. The big end-around sweep by Knight that went for 20 yards and a first down, and then Overmiller keeping the play alive, finding the end zone. Really a nice march down the field by the Broncos, and if they can finish drives, they're tough to handle. It's when they've got in positions where they've had to punt or kick a field goal that they've really been taken advantage of.
Here's Dustin Bryant to the 30-yard line, gets about a 5-yard gain on the play.
Just a solid, patient run by Bryant. He's about a shoestring tackle away from emerging from the pile there for big yards. Bryant, the senior, out there. And, you know, game number 10 on the year. Everyone's a little banged up, and Bryant certainly no exception. He's out there today, though.
So two splits far side. And Bryant on the pitch. Takes it to the 35, gets the first down.
Well, they ran away from the run blitz that time as Hastings brought an extra guy in. Well, you jump out to that big 4-possession lead early, and you kind of forget that we got 3 quarters of football to play here. Can't go to sleep on the Broncos, because they've showed they can move the ball pretty well this afternoon. Now a big unbalanced line.
And here is Jones, who tries to get a tackle, but is stopped on the play. Hastings defensively getting a stop that time. It looks like Joel Groffel was the guy that made the tackle. So about a gain on the play of about 2 to the 37-yard line for Bryant.
When the wind has been blowing more in the face of the Prairie Wolves now in this second quarter. See if that affects the passing game at all here in this frame.
We saw that with Hastings in the first quarter. Second down here. Francis hands it off to Bryant around left side and takes it to the 41. Still about 4 short of the first down. 3rd and 4 coming up.
Very manageable down and distance here, though. Whole playbook open. Wesleyan in the all-white jerseys this afternoon. First time I think we've seen them in the all-white this season here at home.
Normally they'll wear something like that on the road. At least the white jersey tops. Francis in trouble, had to get rid of the football. And the pursuit was on for that Hastings defense, and a 3 and out here for Wesleyan.
They're going to look here. The line judge and the referee are maybe talking it over on a grounding. I think that's what they're looking at, and they are going to call an intentional grounding.
Yep.
Intentional grounding on the offense. The ball we placed at the spot of the foul. Lost it down. 4th down.
You see, he just had to throw it away, and there really wasn't a receiver in the neighborhood, nor was he outside the pocket. It doesn't hurt as much as it was already going to be 4th down.
Here's Here's the bunt from Vandenberg. Bounce around the 35, rolls inside the 30. And
Great roll.
how about that for a punt? Down to the 18-yard line. So Kelby Vandenberg comes through again.
About a 45-yard punt there.
Well, you look back at this season for Wesleyan. A lot of close games. Of course, the Tabor College game to begin the season, that was a heartbreaker. Because Wesleyan was so close to taking a lead in that game.
Well, and there was no shortage of ranked opponents on that schedule as well.
Oh, yeah, and it was a very difficult schedule at times this year.
There's another sweep-like play. There's a block in the back. It's probably going to be called on Hastings there.
Rob Nett, the ball carrier that time.
But you look at Tabor, and then you had number 1 Morningside, then Briarcliff, then Northwestern was ranked at the time. You pull that up, say. Doane, they were just in the poll yet. Then Concordia was still ranked then. Dakota Wesleyan, who's now in the top 25. And then the big win at Midland. So it's a full-time job here in the GPAC. You never get a day off.
Holding on the offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
But considering, too, you had big wins against Northwestern. Doane was a huge win because Doane was ranked at the time.
Well, and Doane's Doane. So.
and obviously it's a rivalry game. The tough one for them was on the road at Concordia.
Yeah, they had a tough time out there, but Concordia, one of the better defenses around, and they started their season hot, 6-0, and then they ran into that same buzzsaw, the ranked teams, as Wesleyan did.
Home run ball, Rob Nett to him, incomplete. Good defense from Richards downfield.
Great job, came across the body, led with the perfect hand, step for step with the receiver, and knocked it away. Richards has done a nice job from that corner spot this afternoon. Here it comes, coming right into your living room, and great defense by Richards. Plenty of time up front to work. They had a double-team Latimer, you see there, to give Overmiller a little time to work. Out, just perfect play by Richards, knocking that one away.
So 2nd and long.
Again, the penalties hurting Hastings.
Overmiller, sharp pass to Curley around the 20. Gets the first down. He's still on his feet. And Brandon Reeves and Spencer Beck finally take him down at the 37-yard line.
Take a look here. Curley, 4th catch of the afternoon, makes the first man miss, and then carrying defenders with him. Right here. Good job right there. Nice little cut. Quickly at the line as Hastings running the football.
Here's Fowler with a stiff arm on Wardine. Fowler takes it to the 41. It's about a 4-yard pickup on the play. So less than 9 minutes and counting here in this first half. But really the season for Nebraska Wesleyan, decent obviously, a winning record so far. But they had some tough opponents. Obviously the given is Morningside, but some quality wins too down the stretch. Here's Fowler again, and he runs head on with Richards first, and Wardine comes in and finishes him off.
Oh, that's a good solid run, and so much this year and the last couple years you see about that leading with the helmet, and that's one place they haven't addressed it yet. The running back, who really that time inflicts as much damage as any defender would.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for football being football, and you know you're going to get hit, but if they're going to call it on one side of the football, they need to call it on the other side as well.
Overmiller. Robnett makes the catch. And a first down for Hastings at the Prairie Wolf 21. So
Hastings is all of a sudden moving the football with ease on this Nebraska Wesleyan defense, and that time Feck just got turned around somewhere in his coverage, I think. Thought maybe there was safety help over the top, and there wasn't.
Overmiller, beyond the reach of his intended target, incomplete. Jordan Wallman, just down the road in Philly. was the target that time for Overmiller. You think about Midland, Concordia, Doane, Nebraska, Wesleyan, and Hastings, all fighting for local talent. You might see some guys that might be in an area around Doane or Wesleyan head out west to Hastings. Quite a few of those guys on the roster today.
Well, Doane, Wesleyan, Hastings, Nebraska, Wesleyan, Midland.
And around the right end on the far side is Fowler,
But
knocked out of bounds.
You see a little bit more of those, maybe a few more Nebraska kids now as there's 2 less football programs in the state to compete for kids, as you know, Dana College is gone and UNO is gone. And
yeah.
some of those UNO kids, you know, maybe now they're a Northwest Missouri State kind of guy, or maybe they go out to Kearney at UNK if they're D2, but a lot of those guys will filter in here. And that's why I think that contributes to the level of competition each week in the GPAC.
Here's a pass near side. It goes incomplete, knocked away by Fecht. Fecht was looking for a holding, offensive hold.
And they did get a hold back at the line of scrimmage as DeColste was looking for the flag and he was laying on it.
Holding penalty against Hastings.
As DeColste was double teamed and
On the offense, number 50, 10-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Tanner Paxton, the junior from right here in Lincoln.
Now, this is a big stand for Nebraska Wesleyan here, the defense. This would be back-to-back drives where Hastings kind of had their way and marched right down the field on you. They need to come up with another stop here.
Here's Overmiller's throw, and it's intercepted by Spencer Fecht. He towed the line and stepped out of bounds at the 12. Good coverage from Fecht.
Well, just as you say, you need a big play. You get it. Fecht got kind of turned around 2 plays earlier on that big pass play. This time he's in great position to make the interception. Ball was just underthrown by Overmiller that time as well.
So now the Wolves will have it at their own 12. Just over 7 minutes to go here in this first half. And a quick toss. Here's Joel Weidel around right side to the 20. He's down the near side with a stiff arm and ran out of bounds toward midfield. Let's see where they mark the ball. They're going to mark it right at the 35. But by that point, when he broke free, got to give a stiff arm to Garrett Griffith to gain extra yardage. So they'll mark him at the 34. So they quickly set up. Here's Bryant. And he is tripped up in the backfield and stopped for a loss.
That's Gilden again.
Alex Gilden coming through that time. Lost back at the 31-yard line, so about 3 yards. So, Prairie Wolves, they'll send Jones and Larson to the far side on the left. Earhart and Zumpf are here to the right. Closest to your screen. Francis, screen toss to Bryant. Past the 35, and they'll stop his forward progress at the 40.
That was a pretty good call because it was man coverage. Just one safety help over the top that time. Got a little bit of running room for Bryant. But the receivers just ran the defenders out of the play that time.
Now the Prairie Wolves taking their time in the huddle. Earhart over here, along with Zumpf. Davis, the split far side, got a slot too on the left. Francis to Jones, complete, and stopped at the 43-yard line.
A great route by Jones. Basically, you got a running back slash wide receiver matched up on a linebacker, and he got the one step he needed in a perfect little toss from Francis off his back foot.
Corey Jones with a big catch. Francis, Lytle, and he is stopped in the backfield. About a 1-yard loss.
Well, in that time, Torrey Warren, the senior, kind of blew that play up at the line of scrimmage, the big defensive lineman, number 94. And there was nowhere for Lytle to go. Good answer drive here, though, after the interception, kind of flipping the field position, if nothing else, on the Broncos, after they kind of had their way for 2 drives with the Nebraska Wesleyan defense.
Here's a pitch to Bryant. Got behind Caleb Armstrong for an extra couple of yards and stopped at the 36-yard line.
Good job. Again, they ran away from a blitz that came on that right side. So Hastings is gambling some, sending a few extra people even on the run blitz that time. The last couple plays for the Prairie Wolves, it's worked out. They've just ran away from it. Another 3rd down, though, on this drive.
This time they'll spread it out. As Earhart goes in motion. Francis complete to Bryant. Bryant leaps ahead to the 30 and gets the first down. He already had the first down at the 32. They got 2 more yards out of it.
The last 2 3rd down plays, they've been in a single high safety look, so that means you're pretty much matched up man-to-man everywhere. And Bryant gets in front of his man. Just a nice little comeback route. Able to fight forward for those yards.
So Zumpf goes in motion. Here's Jones. And met up with a tackle at the 25-yard line. Gets a pickup on the play of only 5.
Good cutback, but right there was the linebacker to meet him after the first move. Good fill that time. Looked like it was Trevor Birdsell. All right, check that. Jeremiah Reed. Birdsell on the offensive side for Hastings.
This will be 2nd and 5. It's a reverse. Lytle goes around left side, looking for the corner, gets what looks like a first down at the 20-yard line.
Well, he picked up a little block from Francis there, enough to spring him to the sideline and get what should be first down yardage right at the sticks. A little razzle-dazzle that time.
So from the 19, with 2 minutes to go here in the first half and a 27-7 lead for Wesleyan, it's Francis under center. A play action fake, you're looking to throw near side toward Clausen into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska Wesleyan, and he spikes the ball, and out comes another penalty flag.
Well, and Clausen was calling that from the minute he got off the line of scrimmage. He knew he had his man beat. The defender never did turn and find the football. It was probably later getting there than it should have been, and Clausen hauls it in. But again, the celebration a little excessive by the standards of the officials this afternoon, and it's been consistent. We've seen it once, seen it twice now.
Contact on the offense, number 48, spiking the ball. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Touchdown stands.
So either Coach Keller needs to have a talk about the celebration, or they're really confident in Aaron Lorraine's leg and they just want to give him a challenge. I'm not sure.
It could be, you never know. But second time today that Nebraska Wesleyan's been picked up for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And both times spiking the football after a touchdown. Lorraine's kick into that south wind is good. So 1:44 to go here in the first half. Nebraska Wesleyan extends their lead 34-7.
Your life is what you make of it. In Lincoln, some are making it fun. Some are making it successful. Others are making it vibrant, refreshing, economical, creative, interesting. They're making Lincoln home. So, make it young. Make it a family. Make it a booming career. Make it whatever makes you happy. Make your life right in Lincoln.
Nolan Clausen, the tight end, with a touchdown catch.
His second touchdown catch of the year.
And the junior out of Ord, Nebraska, the former Chanticleer.
The fighting chickens, we used to call them.
A lot of great athletes. They've had quite a few athletes come out of there. Of recent memory would be Andy Markowski.
Used to be in the old Central 10 Conference, or the Central Conference, still around. They've transitioned to a different conference, but some battles up there, I remember in my high school day.
And of course, our broadcast colleague, Dick Janda from Ord, Nebraska. Here on the kickoff, Rodman on the return, and Aaron Lorraine is there to make the stop.
Well, in 15 yards because of the spiked football, and now Hastings with a short field, starting all the way out their own 45-yard line, and with a minute 34 and 2 timeouts remaining, plenty of time to try and get on the scoreboard here before the half ends. So that's where those self-inflicted penalties really come back to hurt you.
So from the 45, over Miller, and he'll keep it. Gets out of a tackle, still on his feet, and he's sandwiched up at the 43-yard line of Nebraska Wesleyan. With all that scrambling around, he gets the first down.
Ovendick in hand, or check that to Colstay in there. Takes a little punishment, but like I say, he is dangerous with his feet.
Pretty shifty. Now he'll go to a pistol setup.
Clock stops on the first down there for momentarily. You don't use a lot of time. Still have your timeouts left, and you're on Prairie Wolf side of the field.
Downfield, it goes incomplete. Eric Richards with another pass breakup. Curley the intended target. How about Eric Richards today?
Yeah, he's had a couple tremendous plays. Another nice play here. He's just been playing textbook defensive corner.
So 2nd and 10 here.
Still plenty of time. 62 seconds left here. 2 timeouts.
Out of the pistol. Play action here over Miller. Looking to throw. And he'll run with it. And Hovendick over there to make the tackle at the 35.
Short of the first down this time. Wesleyan just rushed 4. Dropping a few more in coverage here. And that allows a little more room for Overmiller, if he gets out of that pocket, to have some free scrambling room.
So 3rd and 2. 30 seconds and counting. Here's Overmiller. Kind of a wounded duck pass that goes incomplete.
Yeah, that one just came out of his hand funny.
And the release point made the spin or the rotation on it look wobbly. So with 4th down and 2 to go, Hastings looking like they will go for it. With 23 seconds here before halftime, and they'll spread it out.
Maybe don't be surprised, a little draw play here. Just get yourself the first down back at the line of scrimmage, run a play.
That's Earl. Gets it. He gets the first down, stopped at the 31-yard line.
Just a couple seconds down to 19.
So Hovendick with the tackle that time, and now timeout on the field. And Hastings will take it. So 19 seconds on the clock here before halftime. Back to Able Stadium in just a moment.
My cousins race stock cars, and I kind of merged the two together to antique cars. Giving old stuff new life. I mean, that's the cool part.
I don't know what it is, digging in an old barn. I really like that. And then the finished product.
We just had accumulated enough projects that we really needed to expand. Union Bank helped us achieve the goal of having our own shop.
They made it easy.
There you see a couple of fans beyond that fence out there on the far side of Able Stadium right along 56th Street, trying to catch a glimpse of today's game. Would you call those from the cheap seats?
Those are probably the cheap seats, yeah.
If you were at a Colorado Rockies baseball game, that'd be considered the rock pile.
I was going to say, you'd be out in the rock pile out there. What a good day to be out for a little walk. You know, mid-November games, you don't really see a lot of people just out wandering around usually because of the weather, but today you do.
Over Miller. And it's tipped up, incomplete. Good defense, deep coverage that time from Seth Wardeen.
Well, and they just, again, rushed only 4, and they get pressure, but they drop everybody back, and Latimer's there right away. Good job just to tap it out of the reach and take over on downs.
Look at it this way. Would you want to do yard work today on a day like this or watch football?
Well, there's definitely a lot of leaves to be raked over there. I think I'd take a break, watch a little football.
2nd and 10. Over Miller in the pocket, shifting. He's just going to keep it. Moving Dick there first and finished off that time.
And that's going to cost them another play. He scrambled long enough. The clock went to zeros.
Sean Lindgren came over there to help finish off the tackle for Nebraska Wesleyan.
I think they might give him a couple seconds because I'd say he was down around the 2-second mark, but it all depends on whether or not they got that timeout called. They do have one left. I never saw an indication for the clock to stop, but I know Tony Harper over there was trying to call the timeout.
The clock. No timeout is grounded. The half is over.
So we are at halftime. And now Coach Harper's coming over to talk things over with one of the officials on the far side. So we'll head to the locker room. At the half, Nebraska Wesleyan 34, Hastings 7 on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.